getting both of his bad lands wastelanded. He went to fetch for a 3rd red source, and his deck doesn't play one. So he was stuck with 3 red cards in hand, and then he won anyway.
All right, well, good.
Yep. It was one of those types of matches where
I was really hoping
everything
for an
goes
awesome
wrong
match,
for everybody, and somehow somebody wins.
Fair enough. Well, this round, hopefully we'll have a better match. It's Pat Cox versus Eric Brown. Pat Cox, unsurprisingly, playing a deck with green creatures. Not his beloved Wild Mikado, which I believe he owns the original art for.
Does he?
I could be wrong, but I believe he bought it. And the other deck, Eric Brown, he is playing what looks to be just a pretty basic Blue-White Stoneforge. Not playing the Lingering Souls that we've come so accustomed to in the last few days. Eric leads off an island. A very interesting island choice. He's playing some white borders. Pat Cox, also whiteboard land, except that it's a dual land, so
A little more acceptable.
a little more acceptable. Man, Eric Brown, I might plays a Stoneforge Mystic.
Sam's not happy over here.
I'm not happy here, man. I can respect these lands. I can respect the lands for the sole reason that he's doing this intentionally. This is not like an accidentally finding the land box. Man. Those, in all fairness, those actually might be Portal 3 Kingdoms, in which case I can accept those as... I can accept those, but I'm not positive. It's just the whiteboard land just throwing me off. Oh, I think they're 7th. Man, 7th edition lands.
Nice choice.
Nice choice, Eric.
Why do you go Eric Brown?
Ooh, Jit War. So again, Eric Stoneforge gets a Jit. Pat Cox, Stoneforge gets a Jit. Also lays a Horizon Canopy. So yeah, these Jits not going to do much except for the first person who blinks. Like if Eric Brown puts this down first, Pat Cox can actually just go, you know, because I Pride Mage, kill your Jit. And now I've got a Jit too. Ho ho ho. But we'll see what that happens.
And yeah, another thing, as somebody who plays the blue-white deck normally, when you get into one of these Jit Wars where both people just search for a Jit with a Stoneforge Mystic,
right?
It's often a mistake when your opponent doesn't Stoneforge their Jit in right away.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can get their Stoneforge off the table because they tap for some reason or tap their lands, then you're given an opportunity to
hit your
Jit and then spell snare theirs or something.
Fair enough, fair enough. Oh yeah, that makes sense. You get a hit in, like right here. If he can equip Jit, he can attack. He has the mana, certainly has the mana to kill his opposed Pat Cox's Stoneforge Mystic. But
Eric's going down to 19 here. He's looking for another Tundra or an island. Grabs the island.
Grabs the island indeed. I feel like I'm getting trolled with this guy's land base.
It's the same art on both islands.
I know, it's intentional. I'm aware that it's intentional. I just feel like he was just like, I know Sam Stodd's commentating, and he's going to flip out when he sees all these islands. But, you know, it's his choice. I can approve it. I can respect it. Elspeth comes up by 1, but which one is it? It looks like we're getting a token. Indeed we are. Pat Cox looking to trade Jits. And we do. Legend Rule takes them both out.
Now, Elspeth has the ability to completely take Cam over, but Masonith is a pretty good counter to Elspeth.
It's very good counter to Elspeth.
Big issue though, I mean, if Elspeth ultimates, I'm not really sure how good that is here, but it's gotta be good, right?
You know, it's one of those ultimates, it's always good.
Yeah.
Every ultimate is good. Elspeth here is less relevant. I mean, Mother of Runes is able to sort of sneak things through anyway.
Yeah.
Combat's not going to happen a whole lot. So yeah, it's good, but it's not really going to do a whole lot.
All right, Eric can make boyfriend girlfriend and have Jason Elspeth in play. Never a bad decision. But one of them could just die because of the mother. So
That's true.
It's kind of awkward. I mean, he doesn't really have a good way to get the mom off the table.
No, not really. And that's once you untap with mom, it really just usually takes 2 cards to get her off the table, barring a jit. And you know,
that's not gonna happen.
He only has 1 jit, and it's already dead.
Yeah, no Academy runs in his deck, so that's not coming back.
Nope.
Going the Riptide Lab route instead. I approve. That's correct.
So, looking real quickly at Eric's deck, he has 3 basics, and they're all in play. So, not all, you know, I was just trying to, I was curious, maybe, you know, I think you mentioned that you played a lot more basics in your.
I like playing more basics.
So, you know, because Pat Cox, with an active Neither Reliquary, he can start wastelanding, you know, going to town with Wasteland. If he so chooses. Imagine it's getting Pro Blue and coming at Jace, taking him down.
None of those guys can block. Mom can just give the Knight protection from all those creatures. Swings right in.
And now the question is, you know, Pat Cox just seems that that's such a huge advantage here. First of all, he's got 2 jits in his list, so that's a thing.
Yeah,
but also,
I don't think Eric
like,
expected that at all.
You know, Eric just, you know, he doesn't have a lot of good ways to deal with this board. I mean, he is very good at winning when the board is at parity. He is not very good at winning when he's this far behind, especially behind 2 Mother of Runes.
I mean, it's hard to catch up when you're the blue-white deck. You're usually, you know, battling things like Tarmogoyfs with cards like Spell Snare, and if they're just playing 1-drops and you're not spell snaring their Stoneforge Mystics, and then they're resolving Knights, like,
yeah, and
it's hard to tell what really happened.
There was a time when, you know, blue-white decks were all known playing Wrath of God. Blue-white decks don't play Wrath and Legacy, at least not main. So, you know, they just don't have the fear of it. So, Pat Cox.
He probably has a few Wraths in his board, does he?
He does have Wraths in his board, but
okay.
The first game, Pat can just go as buck wild as he wants to, and he is. He just creature.
What, creature party over here.
It is a creature party. And, you know, what concern does he really have here? Well, you know, he knows he's not going to get Wrath game 1. It's such an uncommon card game 1 for these decks. You know, usually Eric Brown of Stoneblade deck might be able to sort of hold things off until he got down to Batterskull. But, you know, Pat Cox, he's got creatures underneath counterspells. And so here we are, Eric Brown, a handful of counterspells. No way to deal with all these creatures. Mother Runes, pro-white.
Yeah, this
Eric
is,
thinking.
All right.
Brainstorm.
He's brainstorming.
Imagine he's looking for a Swords of Plowshares here. Possibly 2 Swords of Plowshares.
And he's got to be looking for dubs, and he's found another brainstorm, but that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, you know, just dealing Blue-White Stoneblade game 1, dealing with 2 Mother of Runes is so hard. Dealing with 1 is hard. Dealing with 2, it's nearly impossible. Now this will take out Elspeth, I believe. Oh no, it doesn't. Elspeth still has a few counters within it.
Yeah, even with the Exalted trigger.
Wow. I think it's down to 2 now.
2?
Yep. See, I like it when people have these light-colored, either like black, white dots on like black die or black dots on white die. Very easy to tell. Much harder when you're dealing with like gold
Lavender
on blue.
on dark blue.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not so bad when you're playing, but when you're actually commentating, not easy.
And a Wasteland comes down. We'll let him interact with Elizabeth, but at this point it's way too late.
Yeah, way too late.
I mean,
Brainstorm, he's still digging. You know, Batterskull can. Well, the thing is, like a Batterskull, if he flashes in a Batterskull, though his Mystic's dead, I guess. Ooh, never mind. So if he flashes in a Batterskull, he can make him use both Mother Runes in 1 turn, pro white and pro black, if he wants to get through. But without that, you know, he just doesn't have a lot here. He can, you know, cast that Jace, use Jace to try to bounce something, but you know, he almost needs to hold off until he has the Swords of Plowshares just to deal with those Mother of Runes. It's so hard for his deck, which gains some card advantage, but it just doesn't gain enough to make up for having to 2-for-1 every time you want to destroy a creature. Elspeth up to 3. Wasteland takes up the Mazevith. He's not going to let neither Reliquary go too crazy.
All right, well. At this point, I mean, even if he draws Batter Skull next turn, then it's already far too late.
Right.
It's Jace.
Right. Now he's going to Jace. Do you Brainstorm here or do you bounce? Just Brainstorm?
I mean, he has Mom.
I know he has Mom, but I guess, yeah. I was trying to think if you could make him tap his Mom doesn't do anything right here, so you just need to hope that Jace survives till next turn where you can maybe take a Mom off the board or something. Maybe deal with the Knight.
Alright, and Jitte is going to start churning away at those tokens that Elspeth made pretty soon.
Very true, he is.
And is that a, what is that? Gaddock Teague or?
I can't tell. Passes the turn. Draws, Riptide Lab. Elspeth makes another token, goes up to 4. You know, Eric, he's fighting. He is fighting. Picks up the Gaddock Teague. Probably casting Jace here. Yep. Another Brainstorm. Another Jace.
Another one.
You know, he's hitting well. He's hitting very well off these.
He's just too far behind.
You know, yeah, he's hitting well. He's just not hitting the cards he needs. You know, he just needs like to draw 4 Swords to Plowshares and somehow kill all the mothers and kill a Knight. You know, that's what he needs to do.
He needs to find a way to kill all the mothers. Spell Snare?
It's a sequel, by the way, to Mars Needs Moms.
Zealous Persecution. That's how you kill a mom.
That is how you kill a mom. Yeah, tokens and token off Elspeth. You know, this should be very intimidating, but just these 2 Mother of Runes and this 4 counters on Jit, and yet another Jace.
Another Jace.
That's like gotta be like, geez.
That's so many Jaces.
How do you have all these Jaces? You know, and this is the unfortunate situation for Herrick is that even if he gets through all this, he's down like so many powerful cards just trying to deal with 2 Mother of Runes. I mean, the fight he is putting up is epic.
Yeah, no, I mean, he, in all seriousness, should have gotten run over this game.
Yep, and there's 1 Swords. He did also draw a
Stoneforge Mystic?
A Mystic, yeah, which
so
Batter
Skull. And he has a Snapcaster Mage in hand.
Yeah, so he's actually getting really close to having. But the unfortunate thing is the critical mass you need involves killing Mother of Runes.
Yeah,
like 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
not gonna be easy.
It's not easy at all. It's just like I've got to kill.
The problem is that your opponent has 4 counters in his Jit, and you're blue-white.
Right. It's like, you know, but still, it's like he just draws all these cards that he needs to sort of extend the game to go further to do what he needs, and it's like it's just not enough. You know, but you don't know. Maybe in like 2 turns, all of a sudden he just hits it, kills both the Mother of Runes, you know, all of a sudden, you know, he's not far away from actually being able to be back in the game. But Jace goes down once again. Elspeth up to, I believe she's at 5. So she's not at ultimate yet. She's not anywhere near ultimate yet. Draw a Snapcaster. 6 on Elspeth. You know,
7 soldiers now.
7 soldiers. Swords of Plowshare's your guy. This does not work as well as you want it to. You know, now you can Snapcaster Mage, kill off 1 mom.
I think he's going for the knight.
Well, the knight's per white, so that won't work out.
Isn't he responding?
No, I don't think he's drawn a sword yet. So yeah. See, the knight was already pro white.
Ah.
So he's now what he has done is reduce the number of mother runes down to 1. That is what would, you know, that's a manageable number of mother runes. Now all of a sudden, you know, Pacox has to choose whether or not he wants to make his knight unblockable, or make his knight, or you know, protect his knight from removal. Luckily, the knight has a JIT, and so that will deal with many of those tokens. But you know, he pretty much just needs to leave himself vulnerable for 1 turn to kill Elspeth. The other option is you just he only has 5 counters on JIT. You wipe out only 5 counters. That's the world we live in now. Wipe out most of these tokens. Attack with, you know, your Stone Forges. Just try to get Elspeth down. You can't let Elspeth ultimate here, I don't think. It actually might not be that bad because you have JIT in play, but I don't really want Elspeth ultimate. I'd be a little concerned about what could happen then. Yep. JIT up to 7 counters.
Yeah, next turn Pat can use all those counters to kill all of the soldiers.
Yeah,
on the
or
other side of the table.
He'd also just use all the counters just to kill Eric.
I think that's probably what he's going to want to do.
Yeah.
It's like, that represents 14 damage just from the JIT at this point.
Right. I'd be more comfortable doing it if, you know, I had 2 mother runes, but I can probably live with 1.
I mean, once you say pro-white, you know you're pretty safe. It's unlikely your opponent has like a repeal or something like that, so.
Right. Like, I think he's in, you know, obviously Pat is in wonderful shape here now. Eric did draw a Stoneforge Mystic.
It's pretty good.
That is good. That gets the Batter Skull. He's been waiting for this entire time, though he does have to worry. You know, he is facing an Aquasali Pride Mage, so it's not gonna. It's not doing the work he needs it to do. But it does mean that, well, I guess, yeah, Pat's still in position where he can say pro white on my knight, and if that resolves, attack and just kill
Call
her.
in and kill him.
Yeah.
And I think he can just do that right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3.
Plus canopy.
Yeah, so that's 4, that's 6.
Plus 14 is 20. Right. And
Yep. I mean, he does open himself up to Swords of Plowshares for a very, very small period of time, but I mean, I think if I'm Pack Hawks, I just want to get this game done with. Attacking, and yep, he's gonna let him block.
All right. Goes up to 9 counters now. Let's see.
Another, is that Mother Runes again? That's what it looks like to me.
It does look like a mom.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Pays 3 for it. Kills Stoneforge. Yep. Stoneforge is dead. No, I guess theoretically, Elspeth's at ultimate levels, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Next turn.
Is she 8 to ultimate? Eric Brown sacks, searches for whatever lands he has left. Tundra.
Has a Tundra left. Playing 4 Tundras.
And Batterskull. With the mana to return it. But,
yeah, there's a Pride Mage on the other side of the table, so I don't think it's going to matter that much.
No. And now Pat Cox is the mana, is able to pro-white his knight. Hold, you can't pro-white, and that's awkward. You can't pro-white and pro-blue a knight after you pro-whited it.
He can just pro-white and then attack, wait for the Exalted trigger to resolve, and then
yeah.
Mage. And that's lethal.
That is lethal. I was thinking if he had a blue spell then, but you know, I don't think he's. The only thing that he could have right now would be like play Vendilion, click and block. And obviously he does not have that, and the Jit would be enough anyway, I think, to kill the Vendilion click. And yep, we're doing math.
Yeah.
And there we go, Pat Cox in a game that lasted forever. It seemed to last forever.
What's going on?
Eric Brown playing Blue White Stoneblade, it looked very early on like he just had no shot. He was behind the gun, and he didn't draw the cards he needed to win the game necessarily. But man, he just kept drawing the cards to keep him in there. And
yeah, I mean, at that point though, it's weird. Like, he was already out of the game, in my opinion.
It was close. It was close being out of the game.
If he had maybe brainstormed to Snapcaster Swords again, he could have gotten himself back into the game. And the fact that he had his Elspeth is also really big.
Yeah. I mean, part of it is, by the time that he did get back into the game, he'd blown through, I think, all 4 Jaces.
Yep.
Or all 3.
And he was basically
just
using them as, like, renewed faiths.
Yeah, I'm going to brainstorm and +1 Elspeth. I'm just going to brainstorm +1 Elspeth. He just didn't have any heat left in his deck. He had 3. I guess he had 3 Vendilion clicks. I guess in some alternate universe, he is able to play a Vendilion click. If the Jit's not in play, he can, Batterskull that up or something. But the Jit is in play. He'd have to. I don't even know what Pat Cox would have to draw for the rest of the game to allow Batterskull to somehow attrition war out a Jit. So obviously Eric Brown, looking for a better game too. Now he has a lot of, Wrath of God. He has Wrath of Gods. 2 of those, humongous in this matchup.
Some of the best cards you can have.
Yeah, it's a card that had fallen out of favor for so long in Legacy, just so long. Nobody, who wants to play Wrath of God? And there's all these awesome spells you can play. You can just play Moat. Why play Wrath of God? Well, we're in this interesting creature-heavy format where Wrath of God's all of a sudden pretty good.
Yeah, Wrath of God's a good spell.
Yeah.
And with the advent of Lingering Souls, you don't really want to be moating.
That's true. Yeah, no.
Unless you're Lingering Soulsing and moating.
Moating is probably not very good right now. Not good at all. But yeah, he's going to bring in those. He might bring in a Disenchant. He needs to be able... Jit is very, very good in this matchup, which is kind of strange, but it is.
On the other side, Pat has an extra Path Exile he's starting bringing in, some gut shots he can think about, and a Life Emblem he can think about as well.
Yeah. He's got Choke too. I don't know if I don't think Choke's bad here. It's not as good as it can be. But if I'd consider it.
Maybe he brings in the Chokes.
Maybe. Hey,
Max Dietz did really well at Choke.
He did very well at Choke earlier. Amazingly well.
Yeah.
Turns out
novelty check well.
Turns out giant novelty check well. That's whatever now. Everything is now just giant novelty check. How good is that restaurant? Giant novelty check good. All right, Eric Brown leads off with the Misty Rainforest, leaves it uncracked, plays an island. Will there be a brainstorm here? No. There'll be a pass to Pat Cox, whose first turn Noble Hierarch is looking to cast something. Looking to usually Noble Hierarchs in turn 1 are looking to use 3 mana on turn 2. Today is the case. That's neither Reliquary.
And that's a 3 mana spell. It's
so
just about perfect.
It's just about perfect. And Eric Brown just doesn't have an answer for that. He draws. Yeah, he's got a Vendilion Click in hand, which will actually kill the knight in combat right now. If
That's
Pat,
if the knight attacks.
if the Pat, Pat decides the knight is going to attack. If he doesn't draw, say a fetch land. I feel like the knight will probably not attack here.
Oh, definitely not.
But it could. It could. And if it did, it would die in combat. Sylvan Library for Pat Cox.
You really think the knight can attack here? I don't.
It could attack. It won't attack.
Yeah.
It actually, well, it's more likely to attack now that Pat's tapped down to 2 mana. I don't know if... the question is, what's Pat going to use the knight for? He can just keep loading up his graveyard.
Yeah, at this point, though, like just
That's an option.
putting those in your graveyard seems fine.
It is fine. Yep. Noble. Ooh, Noble creates a Noble. Wasteland takes out the Tundra.
Man, this attack just keeps getting juicier and juicier.
It does.
After I said it's
All of a
impossible.
all of a
It's
sudden,
like,
yeah.
oh, now he gets another Exalted Trigger, and he plays a
All of a
Wasteland.
sudden, yeah. He
And he still didn't do it, so...
He was looking at 5 damage. You know? And he turned it down.
I don't need 5 damage. Who wants that?
No, I'm going to have 7 next turn. What do I need 5 for this turn? I'm going to have 8 next turn. You never know.
Yeah, now, this knight, he's going to be on the 2 swings to kill somebody plan in about 1 turn. That's the insane part about another Reliquary.
Yeah, he gets big. We had a discussion over dinner on Friday about the 10 best creatures ever, and Knight of the Reliquary was a big part of that conversation. Some people saying that he is in there, and some people saying he's not in there. All agreeing that he's very good. Oh, Swords of Plowshares takes out the Knight.
He needs to be in that discussion.
I agree.
Best creatures.
I think we also discussed whether or not creatures that aren't really creatures are in there. Like, Golgari Drave Troll is one of the best creatures ever. He's just never been cast.
Welder.
Not a creature. Creature without a creature. So yeah, Pat Cox, as he gets a Wasteland after Eric Brown Swords of Plowshares his Knight of the Reliquary. That takes out another Tundra. 2 mana Pat Cox, Stoneforge Mystic. Eric Brown does not have another Spellstare.
Yeah, I mean he's playing 4 copies.
He is,
He
but
would really like to have one, but he doesn't.
But he's down.
He has a Snapcaster, but no 3rd land.
Right, down to 2 mana. And another Wasteland takes out the Mishra's factory. So all of a sudden, both players on only 1 land, but Pat Cox with 2 Noble Hierarchs, pretty far ahead, despite all that. Now, Pat Cox, this also means that he's pretty close to just getting a Jit out.
Yeah, the Jitte equipping your opponents on this few lands.
Yeah.
It's going to be really, really
Eric
tough.
Brown ramps him, though, playing the Jit he naturally drew, it looks like. That was a good play on Eric's part. Pat Cox.
So,
Another fetch land. If now the Reliquary was still around, he would be humongous.
he's always humongous.
He's always
Remember when
humongous.
Terravor was like the best? Now Terravor like gives you a free Stone Rain every turn and can make itself bigger.
No, Terravor in this situation, he'd be like 14-14.
Yeah, it's double-ended.
I still have some respect for Terravor. But anyway, a 3rd Noble Hierarch.
See, now those guys can fight.
They can fight. They can fight well. One can fight well. Most concerning, now is there's a Jit in play. He does spend 2 mana, so he's forcing Pat Cox to actually use the Stoneforge Mystic. If there was a Stifle, there could be huge problems there, but there is not a Stifle.
That seems to make sense there.
Yeah, you wouldn't
I mean,
expect
you
a
can't just
stifle.
let-
You wouldn't expect it, but boy, if there was. 3 damage from a 0/1. You know, Eric Brown, he's behind. He can't cast the Vendilion Clicks in his hand, but he's not that far behind. I mean, we know he brought in 2 Wrath of Gods, which, okay, is not going to get past the Gaddock Teeg, but they are still Wrath of Gods. A Plains.
The Gaddock Teeg kind of pulls this game out of reach. Pretty far.
Yeah, actually, it's not a Plains, sorry, it's a second Wasteland. Yeah, Gaddock Teeg is swings for 5. Eric Brown's only have 1 turn after this. Yeah, it comes in. Goes to 5. 3, 4, 5 mana. A Green Sun for 4. Ooh. Yeah. This is really locking that up. What's it 5/4?
It doesn't have 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Can't play it as Gaddock Teeg. Thank you,
Yesterday,
judges.
there were a lot of people talking about how we were asking why somebody wasn't Green Sun Zeta thing when somebody had a Gaddock Teeg in play, and I think we were suggesting that they Karakas back to their hand and then Green Sun.
Okay.
And
I don't think I was in for that
we
match.
weren't clear. What?
Was I in for that match?
It might have been Joey and I.
I think it was Joey and you. I probably would have missed it.
Yep.
You never know.
After day 1, it starts getting
All right,
harder.
I've been corrected. Neither the Reliquary is a she. I need to stop referring to Knight of Reliquary as a he.
Well,
I apologize.
How do you
The
know?
art-
Maybe
the art-
she'd like to be called a he.
I'm
We
just
never
saying.
know.
You never know. Just saying the art is very obviously feminine. I apologize to Knight of the Reliquary if I happen to offend her. All right, so Vendilion Click.
If he click, targets himself.
Eric Brown targets himself.
He puts Elspeth on the bottom, draws Jace.
We could be seeing a repeat of last game. Looks out of reach, and just every single turn draws way to keep the game going. 1 white.
If it's a Sword Splash Earth, then it looks like there's no way to keep this game going.
It's
anymore.
not. Attack for 5. Block.
Nope.
Next turn. Now, Eric cannot cast the Jace yet.
Yeah, Gaddock Teeg
Yet.
is locked off. And he can't cast Batterskull because it's not a creature.
It cannot. He taps 3. Vendilion clicks again himself, putting Jace back. Looking for swords. Not a swords. That is not a land. So he has 1 more way to block, 1 more turn to block. If he draws swords now, though, he has 6 mana. He can swords and play a Batterskull. This is block. Mother of Runes. Now, that pretty much locks up the game. I think that just locks the game up for Babcock. Even if he, yep, there goes the handshake. Draws the Sword of Plowshares. You can play the, you can swords and play Batterskull, but pro-black will keep him from gaining life. Yeah.